My mother had a good sense of humour. She was always chuckling away to herself, and she liked a good joke, but she didn't tell jokes. Well, she told one joke. She told one joke whenever she had the opportunity. It was actually a riddle that she used to tell me over and over again when I was a little kid. The question was, why are fire engines red? And her answer was, because they have 8 wheels and 4 people inside. 8 and 4 is 12. There are 12 inches in a ruler. Queen Elizabeth is a ruler. Queen Elizabeth's the name of a ship. The ship sails on the sea. The sea is full of fish. Fish have fins. The Finns fought the Russians. The Russians are red, and fire engines are always Russian. My mother thought that was pretty clever. When you're a small kid, you don't understand any of those references. It's gibberish. In hindsight, I'm thinking that maybe it wasn't actually intended as a joke. Maybe it was secretly an intelligence test. She'd repeat that joke year after year after year and see how long it took me to understand it all. And when I understood it all, she didn't need to tell it anymore. Secret mum psychology, maybe. Who knows? My dad was a pretty fun guy. He was always playing and making jokes, and there were things that he would say that he'd repeat quite often. I remember him saying, "Beg your pardon, Mrs. Harden, there's a chicken in your garden." And he'd sing, "If I knew you were coming, I'd lock the gate." And he'd give the piece of advice, "When in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Turkey, gobble." He'd say, probably in reference to me, I taught him everything I know, and he still knows nothing. And he told me, "Errol got an eye full of error on his horse with his hawk in his hand," which I realised years and years later is actually an important piece of history. That's a brief summary of the death of King Harold at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Pretty important stuff, really. My friend Michael told me one once that's worth repeating. It's not worth thinking about too carefully, just enjoy it for what it is. When the frost is on the punkin, that's the time for Dicky Duncan. But when the air is warm and sticky, that's the time for Duncan Dicky. And there's one I picked up somewhere else that goes, "Shake and shake the ketchup bottle, none will come and then a lot'll."